Well, Tiger fans, it feels like it's been forever, but football season is back. The temperatures are dropping, the helmets and the pads are officially out, and that means it's time for another edition of Inside Tiger Football presented by Rib Crib. 2026 season is upon us. Dylan Rivera with Coach Travis Hill, and excited to get things started. But before we talk about what this season has in store for you, I want to go back to spring and summer ball and just talk about what you all have been doing this offseason to prepare for game one. It's been a busy summer and a busy spring, hasn't it?
It has been, and obviously this all started in January of 2026 after our 25 campaign. It seems like it's flown. It seems like it wasn't just the other day, and then I'm going to switch gears on you, that we were doing this, and then all of a sudden we got to August, and it seems like August has been, because probably of the heat and everything, it seems like it's been about a 3-month episode instead of just one. But it flew between point A and point B, and here we are, and we're excited about it. And basically, I felt like we had a great, what we call the grind, through January, through we get into spring ball. Our kids all came together at that point in time, and I think we had a great spring ball. And it's kind of a change of season in May, too, from the grind of the off season to getting into your spring ball, into your summer programs. Well attended, great effort, coaches, kids. Hats off to Yancey, McKnight, and Dalton Allen for their efforts that they put out with our kids in the weight room. So we see our kids are bigger, faster, stronger, and we progressed and we're a better football team than what we were this time last year.
Last year, the expectations were high when you were hired and the staff came on. Everybody saw the players that you all had, so expectations were certainly raised then. But now it feels like after this first season, expectations are even higher. So how are you trying to manage expectations, and what are your own expectations for this season?
That's a great thing. If you're someplace, I remember that everybody said, "Go, Coach, you're such a good guy. You work so hard with these kids and everything like that." And we were a pretty average football team, though, and all of a sudden you get real good and nobody likes you no more. I kind of like that. You've learned to enjoy it. That's the way it needs to be.
Right.
So, our expectations are high. We're not where we need to be right now. I assume most programs aren't. They're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be playing your best ball in August, okay, or even that early September. Those things will come, but those come with a lot of effort and work and finding out the good and bad through the months of August, okay? So we're working through those processes, but nothing's changed as far as what our expectations are and what we are capable of. Big word, capable. I need to go look that up in the dictionary myself afterwards, make sure I'm using it properly. But capable, potential, kind of the same thing. Okay, I can get you fired because
that's true.
You're capable and your potential is very high. But so many other little things, intangibles, have to come together. That's hard. That's not easy, and that's what we're working on. We feel very good about it. Expectations from myself is just every day to get better. That's what we tell our kids. So as a coach, I'm giving my little game plan every day, and I think it's a great game plan for everybody. I get up every morning, and regardless of what's in front of me, I look in the mirror and I smile and I say, "Thank you for the opportunity," and you know who I'm thinking. And so it's the good Lord above. And we go at it, and we get better every day. And at the end of the day, we have had that, and I feel like every day our football team, our kids, our coaches, myself are better.
Yeah. New additions, there's a lot of new faces, and some of those players are names that maybe people in the Tulsa area know, but some of them are going to be fresh faces from outside the Tulsa area. So who are some guys that fans need to know about?
And I hope I never miss. But, if you're just talking about new to the team this year, we had some additions last year, and they've all interphased and are doing great with our program. But just some brand new faces that are going to see impactful on the field this year. I think you start off with Danny Delgado, a kid that moved from across the state that had an interest here, came over here. Danny's our right tackle, and he's starting at this point in time. Does a great job for us. Obviously, a quarterback that we had move in, Shamar Banner. Everybody kind of knows the story there. Dad was a former BA student, athlete, 90, 91, 92. I had to put that on Shannon Banner, that, his age. But he's, at this point in time, our starting quarterback, a great addition to our football team, does a great job. Then we got a couple of kids, our youth, and I really like that because what I see with our program is not only, and I challenged our kids yesterday, I said, if you guys don't get after this year, we'll get after next year, because the youth movement with these kids you'll see on the field, Colt Connery, okay, kid from Lincoln Christian, unbelievable, okay, Terrence Adams, a corner, Ace Cherry, who I just talked earlier, fighting for a starting position. These are all sophomores, and they're really, really good football players that have come into our program. And probably the one that when you say it's easy to forget, and it's hard to forget, but you got a kid by the name of Braden Baker that he's with us, but he's going to be with us, first into September, 1st of October, due to a shoulder concept. From Lincoln Christian, just a very, very good football player that will step in and immensely give us a boost. So those are just some new kids that we have on our program to help supplement what we have.
Yeah, I think he'll bring a lot of juice once he's able to get back out on the field.
He's a special football player, yes.
Now, as far as maybe new faces, but they've been in the program, some guys who are stepping into bigger roles.
Yeah.
Who are some guys that you think are going to really start to flourish this season?
I think, like I said, I really believe that Jack Gardner is due a good year. He played a lot for us last year. Messiah Owens, those two guys, and Josiah Harris supplement our back end. It's a pretty talented back end, but now we have great competition, and it's not I walk out there, it's my position. There's a challenging moment every day. We can put other people out there if need be, okay? So I think those things have been supplemented really well. But just probably that new guy probably this guy might, and you hate putting pressure on because he's a sophomore. He was with us last year, Joseph Williams. He's a freshman. Caught one ball, 6 yards. If I believe I got my stats right, I don't do much stat work, but I can just foresee this young man. He's going to get you over the top a few times. Of course, special athlete, true freshman, took second only to a young man from Broken Arrow in the quarter, running a 47.5, 47 whatever. It's still
fast.
So impressed fast. Yeah. So that's probably one of the guys you just say, hey, he's got a chance to break out and be one of them 50, 60 catches type guy, and so it'd be fun to watch him.
He told me in his preseason interview with me that he was just hoping to do better than the numbers he put up last year. I said, you're going to do better than that in the first drive this year, Joseph.
I think so. The other night in the scrimmage, he did better than that in the first drive. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you brought up the scrimmage. That was one of my next talking points was had a scrimmage against Rogers, Arkansas just this past week. We were able to be out there and kind of spectate a little bit. And first half of it was varsity and second half was JV. So you got a 2 quarters worth of look at varsity. Do you like what you saw, or do you think there was some room for improvement?
We're going to kind of back in this a little bit. We're going to go with the second half. I thought our JV kids looked sharp. Yeah. Very, very impressed with them. Give a lot of shout out to Javon Crowley. He come in and, he's our backup quarterback, a junior that's loaded with talent. Great combination with him and Shamar. I just thought he did a great job just doing what we asked him to do, dinking the ball around the field, making good decisions. I thought we looked pretty sharp. I was really impressed with our kids, both sides of the football, their efforts. And the number one thing that you want to get from those young players is their techniques, and they're doing it right. And you can obviously establish whether they can run and jump, but doing those things. So I was very impressed there. We go back to the first quarter. I don't think we played extremely well, and we didn't play. But you know what? We as coaches, I just mentioned, you got a new quarterback. He's been here since May 1st. Okay, come on now. There's still a lot of learning process to take place. We haven't played a game with him yet. Yeah. We did not look as sharp as what we thought we needed to be, and we learned a lot about ourselves. That's what we scrimmage for. And there's no W's or L's involved in that. But you want success. You want some things to be positive. So we draw a lot out of that. You go watch film. You see it that night. You kind of your teeth were grinding a little bit. But when you get home and you watch the film, you see we do a lot of things, and you give Rogers a lot of credit. Man, they got a really, really, really good offensive line over there at Rogers. Yeah. Okay, they do a really good job there, and Coach Har-Ber and his group do a good job. So they came in here and did a good job. You got to remember they were semifinalists with that unbelievable football team. Probably should have been playing the state finals. I hope Coach Har-Ber doesn't get all this information because he said he's probably still in his crawl about, they had a very good football team last year. And so long story short, it gave us a lot of opportunity, and we needed it bad. We really, really did. Just like we need to play a game now. Yep. I mean, you all these good coaches know this, man. You can practice and you can practice and you can practice. When you really start getting good or filling your team out, it's when you start playing games and adding the practice on with them, because now you know exactly what you need to work on, and the kids do too, and it starts really coming together. And the best way to get better is go do exactly that, play a game. Yeah. So we're ready for that, excited about that.
Well, there's a long path in front of you, Coach, and obviously it's going to be exciting to see what it all looks like. But before you get to those matchups down at the end of the season and the playoffs, you got to get through Springdale Har-Ber Game 1, and that's coming up this Friday. So we'll break that all down after this commercial break. Keep it right here on Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rip Crib.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. QT Pay. It just makes sense.
Your side hustle keeps you moving. We'll help you get where you really want to go. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Welcome back to Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rib Crib, Dylan Rivera with head coach Travis Hill. Talking about the offense now, going to break things down on the offensive side of the football. A lot of things that you guys are working through on the offensive side.
Yep.
I know that last year was a little bit more difficult because you're laying down the playbook and trying to get everybody to understand the concepts.
Mm-hmm.
This year you're much further along, but you've got those new faces that we talked about, so some guys that are just starting to get comfortable in their roles. How has it been just to see the offense progress over the last few months?
Yep. It's been fun. I mean, we go out and go through the summer program, and you have your pad camp where you get to see new quarterback. But there's a lot of competition going on at the time, okay? Yeah. And so we got reps and then we got that. And then to see him progress through the summer, seeing what he can and can't do, okay? But you really don't know that, Dylan, because we never played a game at football. So as we get into that scenario last week, I hope I'm speaking for Coach Wilkerson properly. We obviously converse a lot. You know, everybody knows Coach Hill's more of a defensive guy, but we converse. I use my defensive skill set, talents of saying this is what hurts us, what you need to do over here, and what we need to look at. So it's interesting. I think, and what I love about Jay Wilkerson with his experience, and they call him a guru, because Jay can line up in what we call, you know, just with a big set, so our people that are listening can understand, instead of certain 30 personnel, okay, but a big set and run it down your throat, and Jay can spread you out and throw the ball all over the field. Why are you saying that? Because what we need to do is do what our kids can do, and Jay does that eventually. I mean, so he has some plans, but as we start watching our kids play, then we can adjust and get down to it. So we're starting to fine-tune that now, and it's fun to watch Jay, and you see, you know, we call him the little guru, you know, and you watch him, and his mind's a-ticking and everything like that. So he's playing around with certain things to get the best offense available when we talk about schematically for our kids that are playing. So we're coming. It's coming. There's a lot of talent. You've seen it. We've already seen it. We've done some unique things throughout the summer. Those in the rearview mirror now, though. But so we know what we can and can't do to a certain extent. Now we're applying that to a true football game, and it's fun to watch Jay go to work against somebody else other than us. Because, yes, when we work throughout the summer and everything, we scheme against each other and play that out. And he just does a great job there. He knows exactly how to hurt our defense, and we don't like him at times.
I like that you mentioned his brain ticking. I feel like every time I'm talking to him, he's got his mind just going 100 miles an hour. He's thinking of the next thing already. But talking about the quarterback, he's obviously the question mark for a lot of Tiger fans. They want to know what he looks like, what he's going to be. And from my glimpses of seeing him, I mean, he looks really talented. And one thing that's hard to tell is just how talented he is with his legs, because when you're playing all these summer contests and the scrimmages, can't touch the quarterback. Right. So it's hard to imagine sometimes maybe that run that he gets touched down for at 5 yards, that might have been a 30-yard run on a Friday night. So those sort of things are hard to put into a microscope, but I'm excited to see what he looks like. What are your expectations of him this season? What do you want out of him at the quarterback position?
You know, number one, leadership, guidance, consistency. Those are the things we got to have from that position. We got to have a consistent every week, every day, this guy showing up, going to work, getting better. If he does anything language-wise, that's great to go along with it, but it's all about the perception from the team watching him go to work. Okay? That position stinks. Everybody watches you. It's just one of them things. Still, third grade, my son was asked to play quarterback, and he told the coaches no, and I said, well, that's not the way it works. You'll do what they tell you to do. And I said, but why would you not want to play quarterback? And he said, too much thinking. Okay, that's from a third grader. So you can imagine as we get older. So bottom line is, as you see, we just got to watch him develop and grow. My expectations are high. He has a high end. He'll have some ups and downs as we go through this process. This is 6A1 football. What Well, they play great football in Georgia or wherever you're from. Yeah, they do, but people don't understand this little Power 5 group over here that I refer to, and you know who they are, much less some of the talent that's now trying to raise up over in the West. It's good football. It's very good football, and so he'll have to rise to the occasion to meet the challenges, because they're going to give him 1,000 different looks, and they're going to scout him each week and find his strengths and weaknesses and attack it. So it's going to be interesting and fun to watch him. If he's consistent and gets better every day, he'll be just fine.
Yeah. And he's got some great targets to be throwing to as well. I know we talked about Joseph Williams a little bit already and his talent, and he's going to flourish this season. He's going to be a star player. But you've also got Samaj Stanford still in the wide receiver room. Peyton Lang is back. He'll be a really big piece to the puzzle. And some guys that I think that are stepping up, one would be Kyron Myers. He made some great plays in the scrimmage against Rogers. So wide receiver room looks really solid this year.
Yeah, and whenever you can – mention those guys and not mention Zane Matthews. I mean, he's another vertical stretch guy. He just does a great job for us, okay? Doesn't get as much credit as what he needs to. So it's a very talented room. It is, and like I said, Samaj is kind of the piece that comes over and gives you that other dynamic to go along with, again, as we mentioned them, Peyton Lang, Joseph Williams, Kyron Myers, Zane Matthews, okay? Throwing Antonio Gillespie in there, okay? Continue to grow up, continue to get better, okay? And then you throw a little Samaj Stanford into anything, and you're probably a little bit better. So it's a pretty unique group. That's the main group. And again, we got some little young sophomores, just freshmen now. They're going to be sophomores. Olin Wallace is going to be a great one. Yeah. Ethan Tillman's going to be a great one. On and on and
Cash
on.
Bell.
Cash Bell. I like little Cash, and then here Liam Lowry. Just some really good young kids that are solid, that are kind of in the fire right now, learning how to be big time, Class 6A1 football players, but going to be very good football players too.
Yeah, tight end position is another one that I'm excited to look at, because you guys last year had Titan Hicks, who was pretty solid. This is our guy. He's going to go run most of the snaps. Then you threw in Alex Jobe and Preston Birch from time to time. You got Preston Birch back. You got Alex Jobe back. No more Titan Hicks, but now you got Nicholas Weidman also in that position. So 3 guys who can really do well at the tight end spot.
We like it, man. Nicholas Weidman, anytime you throw a 6'3", 240-pound high school tight end H-back concept out there, he's got a lot and can run. People don't realize that. And he can really run. It just makes us dynamic. Opportunity to get big, okay, at the same time without personnel and things on and off the field. So it's a talented group, a good group. Excited about them.
Running back positions, you've got Sango and Roberson back. Small change in the third running back position, so you'll have either David Jones or Jarius Chapman probably looking at those spots. A couple of guys that are exciting to see, and they've made some plays already in the flashes I've seen of them. But man, having Sango and Roberson back for another year, that's such a strong duo to have back.
Dynamic. They complement each other too. Their styles are both different, so they do complement each other. Which is really good. I don't want to call them Thunder and Lightning, because I don't know that either one of them are just Thunder, but all the other little nicknames.
Yeah, whatever you got, peanut butter and jelly, right?
They really complement each other with how they go about their business. And I think that Jarius Chapman, young man that you mentioned, has taken over that third wheel until Braden Baker is back in the lineup. And Jarius is a freshman, and he's going to be good. He's a special little athlete, does a lot of good things. So we're very strong there, very blessed.
Last place I wanted to touch on was the offensive line, because it's one of the bigger question marks. You had 3 seniors last year that were really the bar setters in that group. And Caden Moody, J.J. Brashears, Tristan Silva all graduate. So you got to replace 3 offensive linemen. It was pretty easy to say, well, Devin Smith's going to slide to left tackle. Case Inisham's going to be somewhere in the puzzle.
Right.
Sam Daring gets healthy. He'll be back.
Correct.
That right side of the offensive line, though, that was a big question mark. You had some faces come in and out and some different looks, but you seem like you've settled on Noah Hayes and Danny Delgado on the right side.
We have at this point in time, and with those 2, they're reps, they're getting better. They're both very talented kids, both juniors. So they're kids that they can move. They have all the intangibles as far as physically to go get it done. It's the mental setup, being able to be consistent, being able to understand the rule concepts of playing that line scrimmage with movement up front and everything, and they're coming along big time. Yep. And I want to mention one other guy that did get hurt in spring by the name of Compton, Jaden, and he is going to be a special football player too. So, I mean, that gives us, that depth piece that can do a lot of things there too. Guard, tackle, big old tall kid. It's going to be a very special football player too. Will actually play some tight end for us. We talked about getting big. Talk about Jay. You know,
that's a big tight end.
So with that, we're very comfortable, and I'm very, very comfortable when you put Levy Adcock, Nick Gorman. We have an interim here this year, Bryce Foster, getting to play at Texas A&M, that's helping us. Comes on, still trying to play in the league. But obviously, the waiting is see if that opportunity arrives.
Right.
And then we've always had Shark Attack, Mark Broyles there, so they get well coached.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be fun to watch them continue to grow into what I think will be a very special unit.
Yeah, I've got two final questions for you about the offense. First of all, just obviously you don't want to reveal too many things here, but what's maybe your biggest question mark that you're wanting to see answered this Friday night with your offense?
Consistency, finding rhythm. I mean, those are things whenever you got some new players over the side of football, and I just don't think we've had, and you can't get it until you play. But we need to find that real quick, and just the consistency and rhythm. We seem to get out of rhythm for a variety of reasons. It would take a long time to express all that. So we've worked on that. We've identified that as a staff, and now we're working on those arenas in practice to try to get those things that make us a little bit more, as I mentioned, dynamic offensively. But it's not about schematically or ability as far as just, again, the makeup of who we are and what we're doing. And you got to have some rhythm. Whether you tempo fast or the offense has got to move smoothly and the operational side of it. And sometimes just to make it as quick as I can, call in from the bench to the players to everybody, all 11. It's all those little dynamics. You got 40 seconds whenever the ball's met to get that done. We want reps. We want snaps. We got a lot of good offensive football players. If you only get 55 snaps, you don't got no rhythm, and it's not as easy to spread the ball all around.
Yeah.
If you can get your 70 snaps, everybody's happy, ball's all over the place, and we're a better offense.
Final question for you is about changes. Anything that's going to look a little different about this offense this year? I mean, obviously you got the same offensive coordinator back, so I'm sure there'll be a little bit of wrinkles, but it'll look fairly similar.
I mean, we're going to do a lot of the same stuff, but there'll be wrinkles as we add and delete because of what we can and can't do that we feel like as a coaching staff. So don't see anything majorly different, but as we progress through the season, we'll see how it rolls, and it could get really. By the time we're in game 5 or 6, you say, new offense? Oh, not a new offense. It's the same language and everything, just a different style of offense.
Right.
Okay.
And the guru might have something up his sleeve by then, right?
He'll figure it out.
Well, let's get to your bread and butter now, Coach. Let's talk about some defense. Inside Tiger Football is going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll come right back here in just a few moments.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip, every treat, and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. All within the QT app. QT Pay. It just makes sense.
Life happens in a hurry. Our money experts will help you keep up. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Welcome back to Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rib Crib. Dylan Rivera with head coach Travis Hill, breaking down all things about the upcoming season, upcoming matchup. And it's time to talk defense, Coach. And I'm excited about this year's defensive group. I mean, you guys set a standard last year, especially as you got into the playoffs. You got to see really the power that this defense holds and how strong it really is top to bottom. And this season, I think the expectations are high again on that defensive side of the football.
Well, we do too, and as we've progressed, as we've talked from January on, we're very happy, and a lot of those kids are back. And so I just, as quickly as I can, these guys are going to make a difference. Eddie, Dennis up front, Junior, Reed Watkins, Tate Ferguson, and Jackson Ayers. That's where it all starts. We talked about it on the offense with the line play. The line of scrimmage is huge. Those guys are big physical kids. They're not 300-pounders, but, man, they're all sitting in that range besides Tate, that 265, 270, and weight room strong. and do exactly what Prentice Joseph and Darnell Whitaker, our two defensive line coaches, ask them to do. So they're sort of very good, technically sound football players. So it starts there. I can mention several more. We got depth there. That's nice to have. That doesn't happen all the time in defensive line.
Yeah.
Okay. So do a great job. You talk about our linebacker core when we got 2 of the 3 back, and the most talented, probably one of the bunch. So Malik, Ross, that's not the best way you want to be mentioned, and Colton Barlow, our Willie linebacker, like I said, Braden Baker's going to be special when he gets back. But man, Crow and Emily Floyd are doing a great job holding that down and are getting valuable experience and are going to be great football players themselves and are right now doing a great job.
Yeah.
But that dynamic of having Malik Ross is, to me, from my high school experience, coaching a Mike linebacker, Coach Higgins says the same thing, really natural, instinctive, does a great job. Colton Barlow's exactly what I've always wanted as a Willie, okay? And even another asset I'll get into. What he was a safety. He's only 190 pounds, okay? But he runs a 4.5 or better. He may be the quickest guy on the team. Well, he may be the quickest guy on the team. We'll get that competition going now. Him and Samaj. He's dynamic. And what's the other one you're not talking? He's a wrestler.
Yeah.
He's a wrestler. Yeah. He's dynamic with what he does. Unbelievable effort. And then you got the back end, Samaj Stanford, B.B. Brown, Coach Noah Gillespie, Jack Gardner, and then I talked about that youth that we got back there that's just fantastic, that any one of those guys don't want to get it done. It's going to be easy to put Ace Cherry in. Yep. It's going to be easy to put Terrence Adams in. And we're not saying that for threatening. It's just nice. What a relief from a coaching standpoint that you got some great talent there that's ready to go, not only for you this year, but for your future too, as those guys move on to their college settings.
Yeah.
So we got a chance to be good. You got to bring it all together. I didn't mention, the nickel position. Josiah Harris, unbelievable job right now, and Messiah Owens, which held that down last year until some injury. So it is a group that has a lot of experience and a lot of understanding, and I want to give credit to their coach, to Keenan Reed, and his relationship and the way he goes about it. And I think he's 28. We were discussing that earlier. Yeah. The way he demands some things on the field. How about in the coach's office too? I love it. He knows what he's looking for. He does a great job. Kevin Gordon, all-time stud that I've always had. And whenever he's on my staff or with me, I would be on Kevin's staff. It doesn't matter. It's a security blanket. He's great. He's wonderful. And he doesn't care what his responsibilities are. He just likes to coach and take care of kids. Yeah. So that's great. But Brad Higgins and Steve Craver are doing a great job. Brad Higgins, just hats off the effort and time he puts in, and seeing Steve jump to the plate. Just a good job of organizing those guys. And I'll say it to the crowd here, to our fans. Thank you for allowing me to come in on Saturdays and Sundays and act like I know what I'm talking about every once in a while. It's just a lot of fun. I get to be a coach for a little bit, and that means a lot to me. That's what I do it for. And then I run off and do all the organization and all the grunt work, and that needs to be done too. And hopefully I do a good job with that to support them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, top to bottom, it looks like a really exciting season. One thing that everybody's going to have their eyes on is the secondary with those 3 guys you just mentioned, with BB and Samaj and Noah Gillespie. And with that in mind, how are they adjusting to being under the spotlight? Are you seeing that change them at all, or are they continuing to be the same guys?
Samaj ain't going to change. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I mean, that's the uniqueness of this young man. Okay, so. And we don't put him on a pedestal. He doesn't want that. That's not what I'm saying. But come on, from a coach's standpoint, those guys, you got those players that are scattered out through your years of coaching that do everything right. And you say, well, it's a great football player. Yes, that's that. But he just does it all right. So he ain't going to change. Yeah. It just ain't going to happen. Okay. The other 2, to see them just continue to go out and plug away each day. It's good. I think the heat's got both of them a little bit right now psychologically, okay, to be honest with you. But I think they're doing a great job. They're there. They compete every day. As BB will let you know, I'm there every day, Coach, and there's no doubt he is, and Noah too. Yeah. Every day, when the first one's there typically, and when the last one's to leave, they work hard. Nothing's going to change, and I'm not being like I'm good or anything like that. I ain't going to allow it, by the way, either. I'm just not going to. That's just not me. Yeah. And right now we got a job to do here, and I think they're just as excited as I'll get out for their senior year and working with this group of people one more time.
Yeah. I want to go back to something that you had talked about in your first answer there about just the depth that you guys have, the competitive depth. And when you were talking about that, one of the first things that I thought about was last season when Malik Ross missed a couple of games, and you had to insert Dagan McCleskey. Dagan McCleskey was a senior, was expected to be the starter going into the season, and then gets moved to kickoff and and a reserve role, and then his number's called, and he fared well in those couple of games. So being ready when your number may be called is important, and having that competitive depth, I think, really raises the bar for this team. So some of those guys, I think, may just have to kind of bite their tongue and wait around, but it's going to come for them.
Welcome to life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not football. That's life. I mean, I didn't get out of college and go be a head football coach.
Yeah.
I cleaned toilets and worked my tail end off and did whatever I need to be recognized as a team player, okay, as a guy you can depend on, okay, and a guy when my number's called, I'll be there to answer the call, okay, and that added up eventually to I'll give you a shot at this, okay. So no, that's just a skill set you better learn if you want to be successful in life, and if you're fortunate, like I said, you see so many people that get something they're not ready for too, by the way.
Yeah.
And it takes them backwards. So those kids understand it. They really do. They don't want to. You don't want them to. You don't want them to be satisfied with that. You want them to commit, but you want them to understand it, and you want them to know how to go about it the right way of going and earning that position. And as I said, and make sure you're with the right people, that when you earn it, they're going to acknowledge that. I'm not going to a senior just because he's a senior. We've already seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to go with the guys that are the best players. I tell them all the time. I don't care if your son's the superintendent's son. We'll go whoever's the best. That superintendent's going to get a special hug and kiss every once in a while. But outside of that, we're going to go with the best kids, and so it's fun to watch them, and they understand that, and they're looking forward to it.
What does that do for you as a coach, though, to know that you've got these guys that can be inserted and be ready to go?
Yeah. So you can demand it out of your other players, which we're going to.
Yeah.
But whenever you can demand it and you can replace them, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm replaceable anytime. Yes, I am. Okay. If I can't get the job done, I'm replaceable. Same with you guys. And what does that do? It makes you better. It makes you understand that you got to give the best every day. So it's fun to have that true competitor. You can look around and see if you're not being challenged, if there's nothing there. Okay. That's not hard. Okay.
Yeah.
But when you can look around and say, gosh, dang, that kid there, he's making plays too. And he's talented. And that makes you better. So I just think it's a great asset to have. And any asset you have, put it to use.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
We're looking forward to watching them grow up. And it's a long season.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it all develops.
You touched on the defensive line there at the start as well, and I want to go back to it because I think that could be one of the strengths of this team this season. You mentioned some of those starting guys, the guys that are going to get the main portion of the rotations, but guys like Favor Ocon have really impressed me.
Man.
Isaiah Anderson is a big boy, and if he can really create some damage inside, you can see him start to flourish as well. I mean, there's some guys that coming up I think are going to be some real game wreckers.
There's no doubt, and I mentioned them. I said we got great talent behind those young men.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you guys want to give me sometime, but you just
be
said
here for a half
Favor
hour,
Ocon is going to be a dude. I mean, you want to put him out there as a captain because who's this guy? He's a sophomore. Okay, you got Isaiah Anderson, another sophomore, 6'2", pushing 6'3" now, 300-pounder that's growing up immensely quickly. Okay, some of these guys are 15 years old. Okay. And doing a great job. I mentioned Colt Conroy, one of our movies. Colt Conroy is the next Kaiser Newell. He may not know Kaiser Newell, but he ought to go meet him. And I like to see the two families get together because I think they're identical twin families. Just tough, hard-nosed, get-after-it people.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Conroy is, so for you football gurus, one of his granddads is Stevie Bryant, so he's a Bryant from Coweta. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't have to say a whole lot more about being tough and getting after it, okay? So these kids, these young kids are good, and there's one that's starting in our forefront by the name of Jalen Duncan.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
He's hard-nosed, and we love Jalen. So.
Yeah. I am interested in at least game one at the linebacker spot, the Sam linebacker you had mentioned, Caleb Crow, Hamley Floyd. Either one of those guys could slide in and really hold down the spot of Braden Baker over the next couple of weeks. So those two guys, what should Tiger fans expect out of that spot with those two?
Not a drop-off. I mean, like I said, they're very, very good football players. They're going to be starting for us in the future, if not right now.
Yeah.
I want to mention Tyson Hall, too.
Yeah.
And I think Coach Higgins can tell you wherever we've been and worked together and wherever I've been separate from him or wherever he's been separate than me, to say we have 6 linebackers that can play, That doesn't happen very often. We got 6 that can really play. We got, and 3 of them that probably will wind up. I'm not going to tell Braden Baker he's a starter when he gets back. I mean, should be.
Still got to earn it.
We'll see. Those 3 seniors, well, you can see the replacement concept, and we're ready anytime. Again, we talked about it in the back end. We got the same leverage up there at the linebacker position. We got depth. And I think when you look at us defensively, that's what I can say what we're special about. We got 2 defensive linemen at each position that can play for us on Friday night, and us sleep well. 6 linebackers. In other words, in our 3 linebacker set, we got 3 guys right behind them that are really good players, and the same in the secondary. You just don't have that very often in high school football. Sometimes you don't have that collegiately. Okay, so it's nice to have that. A lot of people say, well, that's hard to hold on to and make everybody happy. They're happy because you're going to go out and you compete, and we put an environment there, and they're ecstatic whether they're starting or not, because they're getting better, they're getting coached hard, and that makes us a better football team.
Well, and it's obviously easy to say that the coach is saying that, and there's a lot of depth because the coach believes in him. But, I mean, from the outside looking in, it's easy to see that this is a very deep defensive football team and offense as well. But, I mean, there's competitive depth, and it's going to be exciting to see what that looks like as the games wear on. But before we get into all that, I do want to ask you those final 2 questions that I asked about the offense as well. Is, are we going to see any changes with this year's defense? Anything new?
You won't see anything dramatic. I mean, I've been doing the same thing, and it's been carried over with our coordinators. So it's very similar. You're going to see an even front 4-3 football. But with the depth and all the talent that we have in areas, we can put some unique situational football together, okay? And so we're looking forward to that. So, again, as I kind of mentioned, the offense is kind of working through, and we need game environments to be able to see where we stand and finally finalize that dynamic look. I think we need the same thing defensively as we get into it, where we best fit these certain situations in. And so you're going to see some unique settings with maybe 6 DBs on the field at times, all the above. So we got some unique opportunities to do that. We're going to find out, and we'll play around with those each week, and we've been playing around with them in off season. So we'll see how they all work, put it all together. But I would say that because of our depth, Dylan, to answer that question, there's potential for a lot of different looks in a lot of different situations.
Exciting to see. Last question is about questions. What question do you have going into this game 1 that you want to see answered?
Well, just like I said, how do I want to put this? Make sure if we can turn into a football team that does not make mistakes, okay, we're going to be very, very hard to beat. But there's just so many dynamics going into that. Yesterday in practice, okay, we dropped 3 interceptions. I mean, they hit us in the hands and we drop them. It's practice. Well, it's practice. We know how that game goes, okay? That's 3 turnovers that take a game that could be – it turns a dynamic, tight game into, we're up 3 possessions potentially. We just got to learn to get better about the little things. And that's coaching, and that's demanding it. And I get frustrated with myself because all I want to do is be able to be the guy that sits up in the stands and evaluates that position. So I do that all the time. Every game I say, well, I'm up in the stands evaluating you. And I told you guys, the first 4 fall games, I'm already looking for a new head football coach, to be honest with you. That's me. Now, I'm not going to announce that. I'm not going to do that, but I'm not satisfied if I'm an admin. And I just want our kids to understand we need to do that. Not for Coach Hill. I'm fine. Okay. That's how we get better. And so that's what I'm looking for first game. I want to go out there. Let's don't turn the football over. Let's don't jump off sides. Okay, and I'm tired of being 1st and 15. There's a reason why they made it 10 yards. It's hard enough, okay? Let's get people off the field on 3rd down. Wow, we played great on 1st. We played great on 2nd. Why are we still on the field, okay? And when we get opportunity for turnovers, let's take advantage of them. Just those little things, okay? And when you're playing hard, you're going to get some penalties. But let's do it from playing hard, not from mental mistakes. And so that if we can get this team past that hump, okay, then you'll see we'll be pretty dynamic and we'll be hard to beat.
Coach, I certainly hope that nobody's looking for a new head football coach anytime soon. I think we like having you around.
Neither do I there, Dylan, but I like shooting it straight. I like shooting it straight.
Well, obviously game 1 coming up this week, so we've got to break everything down with that matchup. And so we're going to talk about the opponent, Springdale Har-Ber, coming in here this week. Keep it right here on Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rib Crib.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. QT Pay. It just makes sense.
Hey, Broken Arrow fans! Score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union's School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Broken Arrow Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Welcome back to Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rib Crib. Springdale Har-Ber is here at Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium this week. It's on Friday. It's not on Saturday. Don't come on Saturday. There's nobody's going to be here, but it'll be on Friday. 7 o'clock kickoff. Excited for it. Game 1 of the season. Dylan Rivera with Coach Travis Hill. Springdale Har-Ber is a team that you guys saw last year.
Right.
Able to get a road victory in an environment that you have complimented very highly. It's loud, noisy environment, but now at least they will be playing on your home turf, and the loud and the noise will be on your side. So it'll be good to see that team again and get another test in Game 1. And they've gotten only better since last year, haven't they?
No, we hopefully give them a little dose of their own medicine. Jungle, come on out, get involved, and obviously first game on a potentially very good football team. Hope the city of Broken Arrow, the community of Broken Arrow gets out and supports. Real simply put, 8 returning starters on offense. Okay, so that probably says enough. And quarterback being one of them. Mm-hmm. Every skilled kid besides one wide receiver. Okay, they lost a tight end, a wide receiver, and one offensive lineman. So they're dynamic on offense. I've said the guy, Aaron, played over at the University of Tulsa, does a great job with the offense. And I'm sure his coaching staff is a supporting crew with him being the head coach. But they do a very, very dynamic job of setting things up offensively. Going to be a problem. They're hard to defend, okay? And anytime you got an experienced quarterback, mobile quarterback, so you're defending his legs and his opportunity to put the ball down the field, and obviously, like I said, some talented kids to go along with it. So they'll be dynamic there. Defensively, they did lose a few guys, so they're working through it. They do have a new defensive coordinator over there. Jay's, of course, young man from Arkansas. I forget exactly where, so Jay's familiar with him. So we've been able to pull up some back film and pull out, what his tricks are and what he likes to do. Mm-hmm. So we feel pretty comfortable about, being able to have a good clue when we see him tomorrow, Friday night, what we're going to see and how we're going to go about our business. So they're a dynamic football team, and they're getting better. And when you talk about Northwest Arkansas, Springdale Har-Ber used to be one of the big boys. Got to go back about 10 years. I'm not great in my Northwest Arkansas, knowing what's all going on. But I do know now the talk is in Northwest Arkansas, Har-Ber is now back as a contender, as somebody that you got to compete. Mm-hmm. So it kind of speaks volumes right there, okay? So we got a good football team coming in here that's sound in every aspect. Talked about dynamic offense, very sound defense, and a very sound kicking game. They're not going to lose the game there too either. They're going to make sure that you have to earn that. Yeah. So our hands are full. And, it gives us a great contest. And I would like to think that afterwards we can handshake and make sure we got home and aways for a long time. I think they're going to continue to get better. But they're a program that I like playing over there. One, I love their head coach. And number two is the idea, we play enough of this over here. And I don't want to, it's just as close to travel to Northwest Arkansas as it is to travel to the city to get another game. So because we're always going to play the Union, if they're not in our district, in a non-district, the Unions, the Jinx, the Bigsby's, and the Wise, that's going to be part of it. So to have one over there that's a little offset, it's kind of nice. And they want to be the one. If not, we'd look for somebody else over there. But who do we scrimmage? Rogers, Arkansas.
Right.
So there's a good little things for us.
Yeah. Going back to the quarterback, he played well, especially in the second half last year, and showed some flashes of just how talented he really is. And now another year under his belt at the quarterback position, and you've talked about him all summer long. I mean, you come into our office and started talking about the season and said, that Springdale Har-Ber game, that quarterback's going to be a problem. Yeah. So how do you see slowing him down? What's the answer to that?
It's just playing sound football and responsibility. I mean, they're going to, like I said, when you got a guy, just like our guy, that has movement opportunities, schematically, they do some things. The pocket's always moving, so you don't got a guy sitting in the middle of the pocket all the time. Whether he's sprinting out, booting out, any other way, dash package to get him out on the perimeter. You you now have a double threat, throwing the football or him taking off and running. So you got to secure the perimeter, the quarterback run game in general. They've used him with some of your read stuff. It's your zone concept reads, but we're gonna prepare for quarterback counters. Empty with him basically turning into a running back. All those little things make you are dynamic when you got that type of quarterback. And just the NFL now has several of those type of quarterbacks playing actually in the NFL now too. Okay, not just this traditional drop back guy.
Yeah.
So there's a reason. If you're going to play it that way at the highest level, it's because they know from a defense standpoint it's hard to defend. So it's just being sound on your perimeter, that you got people on your pass rush lanes and all those types of things that you do. You secure the idea of not letting this guy loose and extending the play, okay, and burning, because he did it to us last year. He had 2 plays that he extended based on his ability to move around, threw the ball up. One was a touchdown, the other was led to a touchdown for the big play. So that's it. It's tough. They're hard to defend. Yeah.
If I've got my numbers right in back of my mind here, last year score at halftime was 21-0, Broken Arrow in front. It's third quarter, they outscored you all 14-0, if I remember right, and then ended up with a 35-14 final. But that third quarter ended up being a little bit of a sore spot throughout the season. Is there a way that you all addressed? Yeah. Is there a way that you all addressed that throughout the offseason and through the season at the end of the year?
Addressing it is just like I said, that they made their adjustments. Is it a coaching standpoint for us at halftime, or is it a lack of players' understanding, or a lack of players' urgency coming out in the second half? Because we did have the third quarter. I don't know that we won a third quarter. I'd have to look back, but I do know statistically speaking, at the end of the year, we got the heck beat out of us the third quarter as far as just points scored, points against, points for. So it's something that dynamic we've worked on and we've talked about it. But again, you got to go play. How do you do? Do you have a halftime during practice? I'm just. I mean, we've thought about it.
Yeah.
Yes, we've thought about it.
Try something new. Yeah.
Do we need to go inside for about 10 minutes and do something and come back out and learn how to retain what we had going beforehand?
Yeah.
So you're exactly right. They beat us in the third quarter rather soundly. I mean, I believe, Dylan, I'm not trying to correct you, I believe it was 14-0 at halftime, and it was 14-14 the third quarter.
Okay.
Okay, and then we scored with less than a minute going in. It was getting ready to be 21-14 going into the fourth quarter. Okay, and we scored right there at the end of the third quarter to make it 28, 14-14 quarter. And then we was fortunate to hold them off and get that extra touchdown, which kind of sealed the game.
Okay, I knew the numbers were somewhere around
really
there.
Close.
I couldn't remember them off the top of my head.
You're exactly right.
I appreciate your help with that.
They got after us.
But yeah, that's always going to be something that I think, at least going back to last year, Tiger fans are going to be keeping a close eye on is that third quarter. But going back to last year as well, it was obvious from the jump that Peyton Lang was going to be a talented player, and he was able to make a commitment just recently to the University of Central Arkansas, and I was able to talk to him a little bit about that commitment just earlier this week.
Back to pass. Steps up. Looks to his right. He's got a man. Peyton Lang again.
Tiger fans, another big D1 commitment for the football team. Peyton Lang makes it official. He's headed to the University of Central Arkansas. Peyton, first of all, just what made Central Arkansas feel like the place for you?
The coaches. Right when the recruiting coordinator came up here to go visit me, I mean, it was straightforward. He said he wanted to recruit me. He gave me this full scholarship, and it just felt like very real to me.
I know Central Arkansas was on you very early, so what has it meant to you to have them really stick by your side through the whole process?
I mean, nowadays you don't see really coaches like sticking with players like that, so like it's very rare to see that, and the fact that it's very rare and I get to experience that, it's been it's been very good.
I know D1 football has been a goal for you since you were a kid watching the YouTube videos at home. So what does it mean to you to be able to say you're headed to be a D1 football player?
It means a lot. I mean, thinking about my younger self, I mean, that was my dream. And now I'm finally meeting it. It feels like a big accomplishment.
You still got one more season to go. So what are you hoping to accomplish in this senior season before you get to Conway, Arkansas?
State championship, another one. I got one at Muskogee. Looking forward to one more.
Let's do it. I appreciate you, Peyton.
Yes, sir.
Peyton Lang is a talented player. I think that's no question. UCA commitment just kind of solidifies that for anybody that didn't know. But Last year, if you watched that Springdale Har-Ber game, like I said, it was evident from the jump because he was breaking out into the open field. Some deep balls were caught by him, and he made some big plays. But not just him, Zane Matthews-Boudreau had one down the boundary as well. So explosive plays really lit up the field against Springdale Har-Ber last year. Do you think that same thing can happen again this year?
Well, I mean, that's what we're hoping and
Right.
training for. So, we was able to find some, when you can run the football effectively like we can, okay, and we're able to last year and hopefully can this year. You got to get other people involved. We kind of talked about us schematically on how we'll go about it and utilizing our depth and everything to be able to start situational football. Again, we got a strong run game. We feel very good about it. Two guys back, quarterback that's just as mobile as anybody around, big too, 210-pound kid. So, we feel like that we can get them in positions where we catch them cheating to get X amount of people in the box. Those are going to be open areas. And we got some dynamic wide receivers to get the ball into certain kids' hands. They're hard to tackle in open field. So if we can get those situations, those matchups, we'll definitely take advantage of them, just like we did last year, yes.
I'm not going to ask you to give multiple keys because I don't want you to give away too many secrets here, but if there's one key that you have for this upcoming matchup, what's your one key to the game?
I mean, it will still, and it gets boring when you start asking me that. I mean, it's a three simple concept gig, okay, man? It's take care of that football, okay, block well, tackle well.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, it will always be that. Which one's more important? Let's say take care of the football, okay? But if you can do those three things right there, you're going to win a lot of football games. And so whether it be Har-Ber or Edmond North, last game of the year, that's going to be probably the same answer. You got to do those things, and if you'll do that, it'll be key to us winning a football game.
Yeah, well, and against talented teams, especially like Springdale Har-Ber, it's the little things. That's what matters.
I mean, you just go back to last year. We lost 3 ball games, right? We had 3 turnovers in each one of those ball games. I think in the last one when we lost to Bixby in the semifinals, I know we had 4, maybe 5. You're not going to win a football game very often against a good team.
Right.
So you want Har-Ber to come in here and you have 3 turnovers? Don't be surprised when they have more points in the fourth quarter when it says 0-0-0.
Yeah.
I mean, but if we don't do that, I think the BA will have more points.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Well, taking care of the football is the key for the game. You'll have to come out and see if the Tigers can manage to do that as they take on Springdale Har-Ber Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff, game 1 of the brand new season. We are excited to get going. I know, Coach Hill, you are juiced up for this year. It's a brand new season, fresh slate. We're excited to get started. We hope you'll make it out to the football game. If you can't, tune in live on AeroVision. We'll have the stream for you. We'll get started at 6 o'clock with pregame activities, and then, of course, the ball game will kick off at 7, and we'll have that for you as well. So we appreciate you tuning into Inside Tiger Football. Appreciate you, Coach Hill, for joining me here in the studio, and we'll see you all next week.